Hi guys, I am Trish with Unique Me 303 Healing and Empowerment. I forgot that I was putting my earrings in, but anyway, I am a little bit nervous about making this video. Anytime that I am getting ready to share a video about my experiences, why I do the things that I do now, my belief system, and things like that, I feel very vulnerable. I feel like judgment's probably going to come or what have you, but I've been filming this video for a long time, and it's time for me to go ahead and get that out and share it while I'm filling it, while I've been feeling like Spirit is just really nudging me to do so. So a lot of my friends and family, people that watch my YouTube channel, have questioned why I carry crystals around, why I started doing tarot readings again, because there was a time when I never did tarot readings, and there was a time when I did, and then there was a time when I threw everything away, and then I got back into it. Why I quit going to church, why my beliefs have changed so much, how I got to where I am now. What is all this mobo jumbo stuff that I am sharing about Christ consciousness and awakening and ascension and words like that? What does all of that mean? Why do I talk like that? Why am I so weird now, and what have you? So I'm going to share my journey with you, as much of it as I can in a very short time of what it's going to allow me to share. If it does stop recording, it's because I ran out of video space, and I apologize. Maybe there'll be a part 2. I'm not sure. Anyhow, so let's just go ahead and begin. I'm going to ask that Source God, my angels, and higher self will guide the words that I share, that what words I'm supposed to share at this time will reach other people, that they will be willing and open-minded to sharing their experiences with other people as well. It is time for us to start doing things like this, so that when other people awaken, yes, I'm using that word awaken, that most of you might not even know about, when they start to awaken, they will understand that they have people that have experienced this, and they can come to them if they need them. So my whole entire life, I was raised Christian. I have always believed in God. I've always had a very good relationship with Jesus Christ. I have been a person of praise and worship, giving praise and worship in a church, speaking in tongues. Always very connected with Holy Spirit, just loved the Lord, loved the Lord, have always believed in it, have read most of the Bible several times. I have several Bibles, have attended many different churches, have found churches that didn't resonate with me, and have been to churches where I hated to leave, but I had to for whatever reason. And then, I got to this place and time in my life where I lost my children due to, I lost one of them due to drug use. I had another one that started living with my aunt due to her father not being able to take care of her and her brother both, and her resenting me and being angry with me while I was in drug rehab. And then after some things happened, there's some shit that's happened. Okay, guys, I've been through some stuff. My kids have been through some stuff. But anyway, to make a long story short, I am a recovering addict. And I got to this place of living on my own, reading the Bible a lot, asking for guidance to be shown truths and falsities of the Bible, to be shown truths of things that are happening in the world. I asked to be connected even deeper with my beliefs and understandings of the supernatural, because I have always, since a young child, connected with ghosts and spirits and didn't understand it. I have always been very intuitive and didn't really understand and trust it, and had these gifts that were different than what the church said was okay, that were unlike what people would say was acceptable. And, so I started asking these questions, revealed to me through these scriptures what I need to see. Show me the truth and the falsities. Show me what it is that I need to know to be able to connect with the divine in such a way that it's undeniable. And I would say these very fervent, deep, putting my whole heart and soul into these prayers, and I started receiving answers. as I was reading the Bible, things would start to jump out at me. It would just be this internal knowing inside my heart that, oh my God, this is the truth, or oh no, this is false. And then I would purge and grieve those things that I've always been taught to believe that were true. But I realized, because Spirit was speaking to me in my heart, I just had that knowing that I don't know how I know that it was truth that was being revealed to me or falsities that was being revealed to me, but I knew it. I trusted it. I believed it. There was no doubt in my heart or mind that what was being revealed to me was what I needed to see. And like I said, I started grieving and purging these different things. All the while not telling anybody about this process of what I was going through, reading the Bible for 18 to 24 hours a day, not really doing much, but getting up to go pee and things like that. And, just really finding out a lot of truths, okay, a lot of falsities, and just really getting to know a lot about things of that sort. So fast forward a little bit, 555, that's about positive change and transformation. So fast forward a little bit, numbers started showing up to me, repeated numbers like 111, 222, 555, 1212, 1234, certain numbers like my birthday or my children's birthdays or things of that sort. I started seeing animals that would repeat themselves. I'd see them on billboards. I'd see them in magazines that I was flipping through and looking at pictures. I would see them on YouTube, what have you. And I started being guided by my intuition. At that time, I didn't realize it was my intuition or connection with higher self or angels even, guides, what have you, that they were showing me things through nature, through different things like that. I would see signs and symbols in the clouds, different letters or numbers or pictures or images or what have you. So I started looking up, because I was led through the Holy Spirit to go look up these different things, the symbolism of them. And as I would look up the symbolism, I'd be learning different truth and falsities of that. So I'd be learning about the gift of discernment. When I would see a certain thing on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, I would start to watch it and I'd feel this, don't watch that. So that gift of discernment was kicking in and showing me this is not truth. It's not something you need to look at. So I would pray and ask, guide me to the right video to learn about what it is that I need to see through this symbolism, okay? And they would lead me to the right video, and I would learn through discernment what the right video was. I would just know that I know, and deep in my heart, just like those connections with the scriptures, what was truth and what was false. And so I started growing and expanding, and then I started having a lot of pain, and this was before I had back surgery and things of that sort, but I started having a lot of pain, and the doctors were wanting to put me on pain pills, but I was a recovering addict and I couldn't do that. And the list goes on and on and on. Meantime, I'm taking a lot of medications for my mental health and things of that sort, not wanting to take them, but I know that I need to take them because my background has showed me when I quit taking them, I have like a relapse in these mental episodes, anxiety, acting out in fear and anger, being violent at times, things of that sort. But anyway, fast forward, I started praying, show me what it is that I need to do. And I was told to start meditating. I was like, meditation isn't for me. I've tried that before, what have you. But I didn't understand that meditation was just trying to be silent so that I can hear the answers that Spirit is trying to tell me. Whether it be the Holy Spirit, deceased loved one, a guide that I didn't realize that I had yet at that time, an ascended master like Jesus or Buddha or Kuan Yin or whoever, some sort of deity or God or goddess that people have connected with before, but a being that was of higher understanding and higher love, an alien from a different planet, okay? But what happened to me this one particular night really set me into a totally different journey with the way that I believed about churches and organizations like that, religions and things of that sort. My world was about to be shaken. I fell asleep one night, and all of a sudden I was seeing myself in 3 different places. One of those places was laying on my couch where I just fell asleep, watching myself dream. I could see myself breathe, all of that stuff. One of those other places was in my church, and I'll explain that to you in just a little bit. The church that I was attending at that time, Faith Pentecostal, I absolutely love that church. I loved all the people in it. I still do. They helped me to grow quite a bit, and they believed in me. However, I'll explain why that journey ended. But, I also was in what looked like a snow globe, like looking out of a glass snow globe, some big glass something where I was seeing myself laying on the couch, watching myself laying on the couch. I was seeing myself in this church being transformed and changed in front of the church congregation, and I was standing beside Jesus, okay, who I knew as my Lord and Savior, who I understood to be God of some sort, and I didn't always understand that connection, but that was my belief. 10-10, okay, that's about endings and conclusions as well as new beginnings, new cycles. So anyway, I had this experience where I was out of body, my first out of body experience that I remember anyway, okay, because I've had many supernatural experiences that I've never talked about, I journaled about but never talked about, but anyway, this was the first experience that I can remember going out of body and being in a few different places at one time. So Jesus was showing me a version of me that I couldn't yet see. Okay, I've always been very intuitive. I see things into the future. I just recently realized that I'm farsighted. I see my intuitive visions that I have will happen in the near future, 10 years from now, and I will see almost full details of exactly how that's going to happen. Some pieces will be missing just to give me a little bit of surprise or shock, but I didn't really realize that is exactly what was going on. But anyway, let's get back to the Jesus story. I was in my church. I was in the snow globe with Jesus, being shown this image of me being in church. I am doing what I always did when I attended a church service. We were singing. The choir was singing. Everybody being Pentecostal was praising, shouting, giving praise to the Lord. Some were speaking in tongues. There was things that was going on that had always been going on when I was going to church. I had tears of joy. And then all of a sudden, everybody in the church got quiet from the middle of speaking tongues, praising and worshiping stuff, and including me. I got quiet and I started to levitate off of the floor. In the third pew where I was, 2 seats over, third pew from the front, two seats over where I always sat every church service. I seen myself levitating off the floor, and I looked as if I was Jesus Christ on a cross. When you think of him being on a cross and his hands kind of down like this and his feet being pointed and crossed, that's what I looked like as I was levitating. Okay, and as I'm levitating, everybody in the church just started to bow. I didn't know why they were bowing. I didn't understand it yet, and they just started to bow. And my body started to go out into the middle aisle. There was two sides of pews, with probably 50 to 75 different pews, fit a couple hundred in this church. And anyway, my body's moving out, hovering over the carpet, a couple feet, moving into the center aisle, and starts to move and hover up into the front. I was in front of everybody, right in the center where they would perform healings or do prayer circles for healings, and the preacher would sometimes come down and preach or what have you. But my body was there, just hovering in this weird position, and I had my church clothes on. Usually it was some sort of pair of slacks or capri pants of some sort with a nice top or something of that sort, and I seen my clothes start to shred off of me. They were in ribbons, so to speak. My body was becoming nude. Okay, it was becoming nude with these ribbons or these energy ribbons of my clothes falling off of me and spiraling down onto the floor where my feet were hovering from. And at the same time that was happening, from the floor up came a new energy, a ribbon of this beautiful gold and white, sparkly diamond type like energy that was forming a gown, the most beautiful gown on me. I was clothed with a gown that made me look like I was the bride. I was the queen. I was a princess. I was divine. I mean, there was just so much sparkle to this gown. It had gems all over it. I couldn't tell you what they were, but it just was just glowing. Okay, my skin was becoming flawless. It was becoming olive looking. My hair went up into a bun as if it was a ballerina, like a beautiful ballerina. My skin was just flawless. And what I was being shown was that I am being transformed into somebody new. Somebody that I've always wanted to be, that I'm not who I always thought that I was. I'm not who everybody had told me growing up that I was. I am more than what people expect of me and think of me. I am love. I am light. I am meant to guide the way. I am meant to show people the truth and share this knowledge and information with people. Okay, so that was the beginning of my journey, seeing these animals, seeing these numbers, having this out-of-body experience with Jesus Christ, seeing that something was transforming and changing me that I couldn't quite yet understand. And the journey began there. Okay, fast forward a couple years, I am homeless, still clean, homeless. I had several friends that were letting me door hop or couch hop or whatever you want to call it. I was living out of my car, but in friends' places. My bags were in my car, my clothes and things of that sort. Still having faith and not understanding, just going with the flow of things that were happening. And at one time, my friend, for whatever reason, asked me to leave, and I had another friend's couch to go to, but I was guided to go to a homeless shelter where I stayed for 4 months. I think it was 4.5 months. During that time, still reading my Bible, still getting connected with truth and falsity, still seeing the numbers, still seeing, having triggers from different people that was creating things that I had to see in myself that I needed to work on, also helping me to see my assets and things of that sort. But anyway, so I'm at this homeless shelter, still going to meetings, still going to church, reading the Bible, doing all those things, and still feeling, that I've been lied to and deceived through many different teachings in the scriptures that I've been taught in many different churches, but also processing and through an understanding and learning that they were taught those things as well. So I ended up, while I was there, having this car. I have been given many cars. I'm not somebody that believes in bank systems anymore. I don't have a bank account. I don't need a bank account. I try to get as far away from being in systems or programs as much as possible. So many cars have been gifted to me, okay? For whatever reason, I'll put a couple $500 to $1,000 in them, get them running, and I will use them. And this car was gifted to me. It was a Monte Carlo. It was like an 84 or 85, 83 Monte Carlo. I called it the Monster Carlo. I loved it. It was a shit turd brown, loud as can be. I had to put in a quart of transmission fluid every time that I went somewhere because it leaked so fast. It was just, but it was a gift to me, and it meant something to me. And all of a sudden it quit working. Okay. I'm at this homeless shelter around many people that were atheists, many people that just didn't believe in anything higher than them, whether they believed in God or anything else. It didn't matter. Okay. But, they seen this car break down. All of the transmission fluids underneath it. The oil had sprayed up all over the top of the roof of my inside of the hood, as well as I had a hole in my pan, okay, my oil pan. Don't know how it got there. Somebody said I threw a rod. I don't know exactly what that means. But anyway, oil and transmission fluid all underneath it. It was not moving. It was not starting. It was nothing, okay? And several days went by. Somebody wanted to buy it, and I was like, no. I kept feeling like this nudge from God. No, you need to keep this car. You need to keep this car. But even though this car was, to me, no longer usable, I didn't understand what was going on. I had faith that whatever God was showing me through my intuitive visions or these nudges that I was being taught to do or made to do, what have you. I don't know what the right word to say is. But anyway, I just trusted. Okay, so I went with it. And then finally, a couple different mechanics that came over and looked at it, and they're like, Trish, you need to just take it to the junkyard, let whoever it is buy it, blah, blah, blah. And I kept keeping faith. I kept hearing, no, don't sell it, okay? So to make a long story short, I was sitting there one morning reading my Bible outside, smoking a cigarette, because at that time I still smoked cigarettes, with a couple of different people around me. One was a believer. A couple of these men were not. They were the atheists that had originally seen all the stuff that had happened to my car, the oil, the transmission fluid, knew it didn't start, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And I heard, go start your car. And I'm like, nah, what the flip? It ain't going to work, right? And I heard it so many times that I just had to do it, okay? So I went, put the keys in it. These people are looking at me like, you are crazy. You know it's not going to start. And it started up. The air conditioning worked. Never worked in that car. I don't even think that it was charged. These people, these atheists, witnessed a miracle happening. I then went to my church and shared about this, stood up and gave a sermon about just different ways of having faith and what God had put on my mind and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And that's just a little part of what has been going on with me. So fast forward a little bit further. My mom had cancer. I moved in with her. Still at this time, I'm clean, homeless, living from house to house, couch jumping, and I'm getting more and more into connecting with angels, meditating, relieving my pain through learning ways of healing through meditation, getting very connected with the astral realms. They exist. Connection with animals and nature to the level of hearing them speak. Okay, yes, it actually happens. We are meant to do this. We are divine beings, and the more that we question and ask, let us experience, let us know truth, let us get in connection with things that we are meant to connect with, and take away all of those boundaries that were set up by churches, religions, false teachings, whether or not these people knew that they were teaching us false teachings, trauma that's happened to us. And that's what I did. I sat in meditations for hours, just like I would read the Bible. I'd sit in meditation at my mom's. Sometimes my sister would do it with me for hours, getting connected, learning, trying to get to this place of silence. It took me a long time, guys, maybe a couple months of sitting there with my ADHD self that couldn't quit or sit still and couldn't keep my mind quiet. And I just did it and committed to it until it happened. One day I just hit this bliss, this silence, this place of void where I felt like nothing existed. But I also had this place of bliss where I felt like I knew everything, that I was connected with the universe, that I was the universe, that I was creation itself. And until you feel that and understand what it's like to connect with that, you can't possibly imagine what this journey has done for me and awaken to this possibility, this type of connection with Source God, with love, with the understanding that Jesus Christ is not God, but an understanding that he is an ascended master, that is an intelligent being that went out into a forest. Yes, I've connected with him through meditation, out-of-body experience, astral travel, and have been shown. He went to a forest. He started connecting with God in the same way that I did. Meditation, prayer, intention, wanting and having a desire to change and be better. And he took these knowings that he received, these teachings that he received, back out into the world and shared them with the world. And he was ridiculed. He was called a liar. He was killed and crucified for the exact teachings that he was taught through the Almighty, the Creator, love, the energy of love. Okay, so I finally got to this understanding, right, through connection with Jesus, that I'm not to worship him. I am not to look at him as an idol, but to look at him as a teacher, somebody that is meant to come and resonate in here to help me to understand that Christ consciousness is something that we all are evolving to. We are all awakening to. We're all ascending to understand and know that we are divine healers. We can heal ourselves. We can heal other people. We can heal the universe through our thoughts, our intentions, through our love. Okay, knowing that we are God, God is us. God is just an energy of love in all of its form, from hate to bliss. Okay, guys, those polar opposites, learning that yin and yang, that we have to have both of those, both ends of God, the fear, so that we can have the lessons that we need to push through so that we can get to the side of love and bliss and gratefulness and happiness and serenity and peace. Is it always good? No, guys. Is it always easy? No. Is this process been very hard and very challenging? Absolutely. Have I felt like I just want to quit and never connect with spirit again because it's been so hard? Absolutely. It has been ridiculously challenging, but at the same time, of awakening to all these truths, connection with meditation, having these out-of-body experiences with Jesus Christ, and learning that Christ consciousness is in here, that his coming back is something that's happening in all of us inside here. Okay, we are going to learn how divine we are. We are going to learn the truth and the falsities. We are going to understand and know without a shadow of a doubt that there is things on the outside, these beings that don't have our best interests, like government officials, big pharma, all of those people that are sex trafficking, things of that sort. And we're also going to learn the truth and falsities about angels and aliens, and know that they do exist and they do walk among us. Guys, we are able to connect with those things by connecting with our divinity, and it all starts with meditation. It all starts with prayer. It all starts with seeking truth, okay? And that truth will come. And whatever that truth is for you at this time is what that truth is for you. My truth has changed so many times. My understandings have evolved, and my knowings have just become so undoubtedly real that you can't deny them, okay, guys? I hope that everybody goes and seeks God or the energy of love in all of its forms, and does the shadow work that they need to do, and evolves how they need to evolve. 2442. Okay, guys, look that up on Sacred Scribes. But this whole planet is awakening to this, guys. I am just one of those people that is meant to help lead the way. I'm a way shower. I am a light worker. I am somebody that is just very connected and highly intuitive. Just meant to help other people to tap into their divinity and realize that, you know, Christ is here. That Christ consciousness is what we're all tapping into now. Christ is not going to return as a physical being on this earth and walk and do a bunch of healings, but we are. Okay, and you are going to be a part of that. It may not be in this lifetime. It may be in another, and that's another understanding that you'll come to through an awakening, is that we do evolve. We evolve in the physical. We evolve in the spiritual. We go from the lowest forms to the highest forms, and we all just come here to experience. Okay, this is just this planet is just a living library for us to come and experience and to learn lessons that our soul asked to learn anyway. So just enjoy this experience, get connected with God, go get out and get connected with nature, connect with crystals. I haven't talked about crystals yet, so I got into that because I was guided to. I was thinking it was crazy and everything, but I started learning about crystals. I started connecting with them through the energy in my hands, the way that the angels and my higher self, my intuition would guide me, what have you. And I just started transforming. I started realizing things were coming to me very fast that I was thinking about and manifesting, and that things were healing that never were healing with the pharmacy and the things that they were giving me with medications. I started to be able to, through suggestion, through my angels and higher self, one by one, take myself and wean myself off of several medications that I was taking daily, up to almost 40 something medications at one time for several different reasons, and get off of those things to where I don't even take Tylenol now, guys. I do healing on myself when I have a headache, when I have pain. Not always can I get it to go away. Sometimes I'm meant to feel those things, but you know, we are tapping into those things, and this is just a little bit of my experience. I look forward to sharing many more experiences with you on why I've changed so much, how I stay connected with God and the energies of love, how I continue to learn and grow and evolve, and even the shitty and the challenging times, guys, because you're going to have those. But anyway, I hope that you guys don't judge me too much for my changes and perspective, and for the way that I view the truths that I have, or the knowings and understandings that I have now. But I hope that you guys will let this resonate and be open-minded to your heart opening and your mind being open to an understanding of whatever is true for you to be revealed to you. And I hope everybody has a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend. Much love to you. Bye.